Have you ever experienced natural phenomena that felt so unreal you almost thought you were in a dream? No, yeah, me neither. But I do, however, know some natural phenomena that will blow your mind. My name's Oyin and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be covering 10 natural phenomena that will probably blow your mind. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10. Lenticular clouds. Lenticular clouds, also known as autocumulus lenticularis, are stationary lens-shaped clouds that form at high altitudes. They look like perfect flying saucers hovering in the sky, which is why they're often mistaken for UFOs. These fascinating clouds form when moist, stable air flows over a mountain or a series of hills, creating a wave pattern on the downwind side. What makes these clouds even more incredible is that while they appear to remain stationary, the air is actually moving through them at high speeds. The moisture in the air condenses to form the cloud at the wave's crest and evaporates at the trough, creating this seemingly static disk-like appearance. Pilots actually try to avoid these clouds because they indicate strong turbulence, but photographers absolutely love them because they create some of the most surreal-looking skyscapes you ever see. They're most commonly spotted near mountainous regions. If you're lucky enough to catch one during sunrise or sunset, the view is absolutely breathtaking. Number 9. Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis, also known as the Northern Lights, is one of nature's most spectacular light shows. This mesmerizing phenomenon occurs when charged particles from the sun collide with atoms and molecules in the Earth's atmosphere, creating stunning displays of dancing lights in the night sky. These ethereal lights typically appear in shades of green, but can also display pink, purple, red, and blue hues depending on which atmospheric gases are involved in the collision. The most common color green comes from oxygen molecules about 60 miles above Earth, while the rare red auroras occur at even higher altitudes. While the northern lights are most commonly visible in the auroral zone, a ring-shaped region around the Earth's magnetic poles, they can sometimes be seen at lower latitudes during periods of intense solar activity. The best places to witness this phenomenon include northern regions of Canada, Alaska, Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, and Finland. What's particularly fascinating is that there's also a southern counterpart called the Aurora Australis, or the Southern Lights, which occur simultaneously around the South Pole. However, due to less accessible viewing locations in the southern hemisphere, it's less frequently observed than its northern sibling. Indigenous peoples have woven the aurora into their mythology for thousands of years. For instance, the Sami people of northern Scandinavia believed the lights were the spirits of the dead, while some Inuit groups saw them as the souls of animals they hunted. Number 8. Blood falls. Blood falls in Antarctica is one of the most bizarre natural phenomena you ever see. Imagine a bright red waterfall flowing against a backdrop of pristine white glacier. It looks like something straight out of a horror movie. But don't worry, it's not actual blood. Though early explorers might have thought differently when they first discovered it. This 5-story waterfall gets its dramatic red color from iron-rich salt water that seeps from an ancient underwater lake trapped beneath the Taylor Glacier. When this iron-rich water comes into contact with the air, it oxidizes. Basically, it rusts, creating that striking blood red color. It's kind of like when you leave a metal tool out in the rain and it gets rusty, but on a much more spectacular scale. What makes blood falls even more fascinating is that it's home to microbes that have evolved to survive in one of the most extreme environments on Earth. These tiny organisms have been living in the super salty, iron-rich, oxygen-poor water beneath the glacier for millions of years. Completely isolated from the outside world, they've basically been living in their own little time capsule since before humans even existed. Scientists are particularly interested in blood falls because it might help us understand how life could potentially exist in similar extreme environments on other planets, like Mars or Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. So not only is it a stunning natural phenomenon, but it's also helping us unlock secrets about life in the universe. Number 7. Ball lightning. Ball lightning is one of nature's most mysterious and elusive phenomena. Imagine a glowing, floating sphere of light that appears during thunderstorms, moves against the wind, and can pass through solid objects. Sounds like science fiction, right? But this bizarre form of lightning is very real, even though scientists are still debating exactly how it forms. These luminous orbs typically appear during thunderstorms and can range from pea-sized to several meters in diameter. They usually glow with a reddish or yellowish color and can last much longer than regular lightning, sometimes up to several minutes. Unlike normal lightning that disappears in a flash, ball lightning seems to have a mind of its own, floating through the air, sometimes even entering buildings through closed windows or small openings. What makes ball lightning particularly fascinating is how rare and unpredictable it is. It's so hard to study that for many years, some scientists didn't even believe it existed. It wasn't until people started capturing it on video and scientific instruments that it became accepted as a real phenomenon. Even today, there's no complete scientific explanation for how it forms, though theories range from vaporized silicon from lightning strikes to microscopic particles of burning metal. Throughout history, ball lightning has been responsible for numerous UFO sightings and has been woven into folklore and mythology around the world. Some historical accounts describe it as globe lightning or fireballs, and has been blamed for everything from mysterious fires to supernatural occurrences. Talk about a natural phenomenon that truly lives up to its electrifying reputation. Number 6. Morning Glory. The morning glory cloud is one of the most spectacular and rare meteorological phenomena in the world. Picture this, a massive tubular cloud formation that can stretch up for 1 to 1,000 kilometers across the sky, rolling across the landscape like a giant atmospheric wave. It's like a huge white cylinder floating through the sky, and it's absolutely mesmerizing. What makes the morning glory cloud truly special is that it's most rarely seen in just one place on Earth, the Gulf of Carpentaria in northern Australia, particularly near the small town of Burketown. During spring months, usually from September to November, these incredible cloud formations appear in the early morning hours, hence the name morning glory. For aviation enthusiasts and glider pilots, the morning glory cloud is like nature's ultimate roller coaster. The cloud formation creates powerful updrafts along its leading edge, allowing skilled glider pilots to surf along the cloud for hours. Imagine riding a wave in the sky. That's exactly what these brave pilots do. The science behind this phenomenon is fascinating too. It forms when sea breezes from both sides of Cape York Peninsula collide with each other and inland air masses. The interaction between these different air masses, combined with specific temperature and humidity conditions, creates this unique rolling cloud formation. The local Gangelida people who have observed this phenomenon for thousands of years call it Kangogi, and it holds significant cultural importance in their traditions. Number 5. Desert Roses. Desert roses aren't your typical garden variety flowers. They're actually stunning natural crystal formations that look like rose petals made of stone. These fascinating minerals, scientifically known as barite roses or sand roses, form when water evaporates from a shallow salt basin, leaving behind crystal formations of gypsum or barite that cluster together in a pattern resembling rose petals. What's really mind-blowing about these natural sculptures is that they can range from tiny, delicate formations to the size of a coin to massive clusters weighing hundreds of pounds. The crystals typically have a sandy brown or reddish color thanks to the sand particles that get trapped within them during formation. Each desert rose is unique, with its own pattern of petals and intricate crystalline structure. These beautiful formations are most commonly found in desert regions with specific geological conditions, particularly in areas like the Sahara Desert, Saudi Arabia, and parts of Arizona. The process of their formation requires just the right combination of circumstances: mineral-rich groundwater, high evaporation rates, and the presence of specific minerals in the soil. Desert roses have been prized for centuries, not just for their beauty, but also for their supposed metaphysical properties. Some cultures believe they bring good luck and protection, while others value them as symbols of eternal love due to their enduring nature. Whether you believe in their mystical properties or not, there's no denying that these natural crystal formations are absolutely stunning examples of nature's artistic capabilities. Number 4. Turquoise Ice Lake, Baikal, Russia. Lake Baikal in Russia, the world's deepest and oldest freshwater lake, transforms into something truly magical during winter. When the lake freezes over, it creates stunning turquoise-colored ice formations that look like they're straight out of a fairy tale. The ice appears in ethereal blue-green color and is so crystal clear you can see several meters down into the frozen lake. What makes this ice so uniquely beautiful is its exceptional clarity and the way it captures and reflects light. This clarity comes from the lake's pure water and the intense pressure from the freezing process, which forces out any air bubbles. When sunlight hits these massive ice sheets, it creates an incredible turquoise glow that seems almost otherworldly. The ice doesn't just look amazing, it's also incredibly thick, reaching up to 6 feet deep in some places. And get this, it's so strong that locals actually create temporary roads across the frozen lake during winter, What's really mind-blowing is when the ice starts to crack and form these incredible patterns. The cracks can extend for kilometers, creating geometric patterns that look like abstract art pieces frozen in time. The lake's frozen surface also creates these amazing ice hummocks, basically chunks of ice that have been pushed up and frozen in beautiful turquoise formations. Photographers from around the world travel to Lake Baikal in winter just to capture these incredible natural ice sculptures. And if you're wondering about the best time to see this phenomenon, it typically occurs between January and May, with March being the peak month for these stunning ice formations. Number 3. Blue Fire Volcano. The xoxo-Oyin volcano in Indonesia offers one of the most surreal sights you'll ever see. Electric blue flames dancing across the volcanic landscape at night. This isn't your typical volcanic fire. These blue flames can reach up to 16 feet high and are actually the result of something really fascinating happening beneath the surface. Here's the cool science behind it. The volcano contains large deposits of pure sulfur. When this sulfur-rich gas escapes from cracks in the volcano and comes into contact with the air, it ignites, creating these stunning blue flames. It's basically like having nature's own light show. The flames are so bright, they illuminate the surrounding volcanic landscape with an otherworldly blue glow. What makes this even more incredible is that xoxo-Oyin is the only place in the world where you could witness this phenomenon on such a large scale. The blue fire is actually visible during the day too, but you can't see it because of the sunlight. That's why miners and tourists brave the toxic fumes and treacherous terrain to visit the volcano at night when the flames are most visible. Speaking of miners, there's a other fascinating aspect to this volcano. Local sulfur miners work in these harsh conditions, collecting the cool sulfur crystals that form around these blue flames. They carry heavy loads of bright yellow sulfur blocks out of the crater on their shoulders. It's a testament to how this beautiful but dangerous natural phenomenon has become part of people's daily lives. Number 2. Bahaya Bioluminescent. Imagine swimming in water that glows like a sea of stars. That's exactly what happens at Mosquito Bay in Vieques, Puerto Rico, the brightest bioluminescent bay in the world. When you disturb the water, it lights up with an ethereal blue glow that looks like pure magic. This incredible natural light show is created by tiny organisms called dinoflagellates. These microscopic plankton emit a bright blue light when they're disturbed. It's basically their defense mechanism. Well, what makes Mosquito Bay special is the concentration of these organisms. There can be up to 700,000 of them in just 1 gallon of water. The bay maintains such a high concentration of these bioluminescent organisms because of its unique geography. It's connected to the Caribbean Sea by a very narrow channel and is surrounded by mangroves that provide nutrients to the dinoflagellates. The water conditions are just perfect. Not too hot, not too cold, not too salty, and not too fresh. The most amazing part? When you visit on a moonless night, every movement in the water creates trails of blue light. Fish swimming underneath look like blue comets, and every paddle stroke or hand movement leaves a glowing trail in the water. It's like swimming in a liquid galaxy. Just remember, this delicate ecosystem is protected. So while you can kayak or take a boat tour, swimming is usually restricted to preserve this incredible natural phenomenon for future generations. Number 1. Lake Natron. Lake Natron in Tanzania might just be the most surreal and otherworldly lake on earth. Picture this, a salt lake that's so alkaline it can turn animals to stone, and its waters are a striking shade of red that looks like something from another planet. With water as caustic as ammonia reaching pH levels of up to 10.5, it's definitely not your average swimming spot. The lake gets its extraordinary red color from special bacteria that thrive in these extreme conditions. These tiny organisms produce red pigments as part of their photosynthesis process. When you look at aerial photos of Lake Natron, it looks like a massive pool of red paint spilled across the African landscape. During the dry season, the lake's colors become even more intense, creating patterns that look like abstract art. But here's where it gets really fascinating. Despite being one of the most hostile environments on Earth, Lake Natron is actually a crucial breeding ground for lesser flamingos. In fact, it's where 75% of the world's lesser flamingos are born. These amazing birds are perfectly adapted to the lake's harsh conditions, and they actually get their pink color from eating the algae that grows in these alkaline waters. The lake has become famous for another airy reason: its ability to petrify animals. When birds or small animals accidentally land in the lake's deadly waters, they can become calcified, essentially turned into stone-like statues. Photographer Nick Brandt captured haunting images of these calcified animals, making them look like they'd been frozen in time, creating some of the most striking nature photography you ever see. Oh, and did I mention that Lake Natron is also one of the most dangerous places in the world? If you're interested in that, you can watch a video titled 10 Most Dangerous Places in the World next. And that's all for this video. See you guys in the next. Stay happy, stay curious. It's been Oyin. Bye. Subscribe, like, and turn on post notifications. And comment down below what other stuff you'd like to see me do. Videos on. Anyways, bye. Love y'all. Peace.